At the beginning of the story, we see a man bleeding in front of a demon. In this world, God is dead. Humanity worships gold and reveres arcane engineering. Eventually, they turn themselves into slaves. The man stood up and raised his sword. He said that this is not fair. As he charged at the demon, it raised its huge sword. The man screamed as he got closer to the demon. When their swords clashed, a huge explosion occurred in the area. The man fell to the ground. This world is actually a game. It is the best post-apocalyptic modern fantasy game. It is known as Arcane Soul. In the real world, we see the owner of the character cursing the game. He referred to the game as a fucking garbage pay-to-win game. This man is Kim Jun-soo. He is a 22-year-old college student. Jun-soo watched as his character known as Warrior Kim screamed out in pain. He was annoyed to see this. He did not know how a poor player like himself was supposed to enjoy the game. The demon walked up to Warrior Kim. It told our boy that he did well for a free-to-play player. With an arrogant smile on his face, the demon said that it must be awful to be our protagonist. The demon is a character known as Rich Heavenly Demon. The demon revealed to our boy that he was actually playing the game on auto mode the entire time. Jun-soo became enraged when he heard this. The Rich Heavenly Demon told him that he actually had fun. He said that he has never seen a free-to-play do so well. Immediately he said this. He attacked Jun-soo mercilessly with his blade. Jun-soo grit his teeth when he saw this. He could not believe that the demon was destroying his character. Jun-soo raised his hand out of anger. While screaming at the top of his voice, the man said that it is not fair that he isn't able to beat a whale despite playing this game for more than 10,000 hours. He said that such overpowered characters are not fair. Jun-soo realized that he is an idiot for wasting time on the shitty game. He decided to do his daily quest so that he can get started with his homework. Our boy is one of those people that do daily quests no matter what. Jun-soo decided to use his free pull. He believed that he was simply going to get another Warrior Kim. To his surprise, a platinum chest came out of the pull. Jun-soo was shocked to see what the chest gave him. Our boy got the Heavenly Demon, which is an SSR rank character. Jun-soo could not believe what he was seeing. He could not believe that he actually pulled out the best character in the whole game. He remembered hearing that the chances of pulling this character is 0.00006%. Jun-soo began to jump on the sidewalk. He could not believe that he got the Heavenly Demon for free. He decided to quickly raise his character's level. He decided to raise it through farming. The fastest way to raise a character in Arcane Soul is to use the characters you have raised as experience points. He decided to use his Warrior Kims to raise the Heavenly Demon. He poured his Warrior Kims into the character. Our boy raised his phone up and said bye to his Warrior Kim characters. Immediately he did this, he stepped foot on the road. He said that he was now an owner of a Heavenly Demon character. The moment he said this, he heard a sound. When he raised his head up, he saw a truck coming close to him. The driver seemed to have lost consciousness. Jun-soo did not understand what was happening. He was very familiar with this weird thing that happens to isekai characters. In the next scene, we see Jun-soo wake up at the hospital. Our boy's leg was wrapped in a cast. Jun-soo raised his body up. He did not understand how he got to a hospital. The moment he thought of this, he got a bad headache. He remembered his awful accident. Our boy could not believe that he got hit by a truck. A nurse steps into his ward and refers to him as Warrior Kim. She asked him if he is all right. She told him that she will call the doctor. Jun-soo did not understand why the woman called him Warrior Kim. When he looked at the name assigned to him in the hospital, he saw Warrior Kim. According to the hospital paper, the reason why he is there is because he had a dislocation and concussion due to an accident. Jun-soo could not believe that he was actually registered as Warrior Kim. He did not know why the hospital would make such a mistake. Our boy said that he already feels guilty about using his Warrior Kims to raise his Heavenly Demon. However, it did not make sense to him that he would become Warrior Kim. When Jun-soo placed his leg down, he felt a horrible level of pain. Our boy screamed in the hospital. A nurse quickly ran into the room. She told him that he is not supposed to move yet. While screaming, Jun-soo said that he feels like he is going to die. When the doctor came into the room, he told our boy that he actually got off lightly for someone who got hit by a truck. Jun-soo was surprised to hear this. The doctor explained to him that they still need to run some tests. He told him that he needs an MRI and a magical vision test. Jun-soo was shocked to hear this. Our boy found it weird that they called him Warrior Kim. Now they are talking about magic. He did not know what was wrong with the people in front of him. At the front desk, we see a nurse calculating Jun-soo's expenses. She told him that he has to pay 22 million won. Our boy could not believe what he was hearing. With a nervous smile on his face, he reminded the nurse that he was only there for 4 days. The woman explained to him that he does not have insurance, so he needs to cover it by himself. Junsu was annoyed to hear this. He reminded her that every Korean citizen has national health insurance. The woman did not seem to know what national health insurance is. She asked him if he does not have Legion insurance or Magic Tower insurance. Junsu could not comprehend what the woman was saying. Before he could yell at her, our boy realized that he had heard these terms before. He remembered the Legion, Megacorp, Magic Tower, and Holy Order. These are the 4 factions that dominate Seoul. It is a setting of arcane Seoul. In a world where God had abandoned humanity, arcane science developed drastically. The polluted earth is full of monsters. Humans modify their bodies in order to survive. The scene shifts and we see Junsu tell the world to fuck itself. Our boy looked at a long alleyway. He became convinced that he was in this horrible world that is difficult to survive in. He placed his hand on his head and screamed. As he slowly walked up the street with his crutches, Junsu remembered that he got injured when he acquired the heavenly demon. He could not believe that he was sent into the body of a tutorial character. He believed that this was divine punishment for dusting off his warrior Kims. In the next scene, we see our boy arrive at his new room. He was shocked to see that the place was even smaller than his old apartment. He did not understand why warrior Kim was so poor. Junsu sat on his bed. He could not believe that he was sick and poor. He did not know what to do. If this world is actually arcane Seoul, events like nuclear wars, dimensional rifts, and revival of the old gods will soon take place. This events will make this place a living hell. Although Junsu did not know how he got into this world, he was certain that he will die if he stays put. While thinking, our boy realized something. He quickly took out a pin. He raised the pin up and placed his hand on his table. His hand began to tremble. Junsu told himself that he needs to confirm something before it is too late. He grit his teeth and stabbed himself in the hand. Our boy began to scream when he took out the pin. While he was screaming, a green energy gathered next to his injury and closed it up for him. Junsu was happy to see this. He already knew that this would happen. A status window appeared in front of him and told him that he has obtained the trait known as wound recovery. There was a reason why Junsu raised countless warrior Kims. Warrior Kim is a free tutorial character. It is the only character without a base trait. However, you can unlock traits and switch them out. This allows users to raise warrior Kims with more freedom than any other character. For someone like Junsu who relied on strategy, warrior Kims are better than higher rarity characters. Due to the fact that our boy was now warrior Kim, he can get any trait as long as he works for it. Junsu took off the bandage on his head. He used the wound recovery to remove the wounds on his body. Arcane Seoul is a world where you will die if you are poor or powerless, or if you run out of luck. Junsu grabbed a bag and said that he will not allow any of this to happen to him. He assured himself that he is going to survive. He reminded himself that he has a lot of knowledge from wasting 10,000 hours on the game as a free-to-play player. Junsu actually managed to rank 9th in the game. With a smile on his face, our boy told himself that he has Warrior Kim's body. In the next scene, we see Junsu at a place called Player Personnel. A man with a cigarette in his mouth asked him if this is truly his first time in his office. Our boy assured him that it is. He explained to the man that he plans to join the mana purification business. Junsu came to this place because he needs money in this crappy game. Since all he has is his body, this is the only job he can do to earn good money. The man placed his leg on his table. He asked Junsu if he really understands what monster clearing entails. This man is the director of player personnel. His name is Choi Seonsu. Our boy assured the man that he is well informed about the job. Seonsu laughed when he heard this. He told him that there is nothing on his certificate. Junsu was aware of how crappy the work is. Contaminated mana is the reason why monsters took over Arcane Seoul. Dungeon clearing is the act of cleaning up trash which emit large amounts of contaminated mana. Unfortunately, extended exposure to mana can result in death, or in some cases, it causes mutation. This is why this job is quite dangerous. Seonsu told our boy that he will assign him to a team once they have enough people. Junsu thanked him. Before our boy left, the man asked him if he is sure about the job. He explained to him that he has seen a lot of people like him who enter this job for the money and return completely empty on the inside. With a smile on his face, Junsu asked the director not to worry. He told him that he will be better than him. Seonsu was surprised to hear this. With a creepy smile on his face, Jun-soo said that working his ass off as a free-to-play player is his expertise. The scene shifts and we see a man with horns ask our boy if he is the shitty newbie that is joining their team. This man's name is Deer. He is the labor leader. Jun-soo told Deer that he came there because he got assigned to the team. Deer was annoyed to hear this. He grabbed our boy's clothes and asked him if the place looks like a playground to him. He told him that he does not see any determination in his eyes. With a look of anger on his face, Deer warned Jun-soo to not beg him to save him when he mutates. He assured him that he will kill him immediately if he spots any signs of mutation. Our boy told him that he will remember this. Jun-soo could not believe that Deer was trying to scare a newbie. He noticed that Deer was the same way in the game. Our boy did not understand why an R-rank character was here. He realized that this was what Deer looked like before awakening. His legs were still normal. One of the laborers ran to Deer and told him that there is no need for him to do this to a newbie. The man reminded him that they are already short on work personnel. This man's name is Hedgehog. He has 5 years of experience as a dungeon cleaner. Deer let go of Jun-soo. He told his teammate that our boy might not be of any help to them. He told him that it will be amazing if Jun-soo is not a nuisance. The man walked forward and told his teammates that they have 4 days to clean up 5 contaminated locations. Our boy was annoyed to see that the bastard was much harsher in reality than in the game. Hedgehog tapped Jun-soo's shoulders and asked him to not be bothered by Deer. He told him that Deer is a nice guy even though he is rough on the outside. The scene shifts and we see the team arrive at their first contaminated center. The men covered their noses when they smelled the rotten smell the building was giving off. One of them said that he will never get used to the horrible smell. The men were holding shovels in their hands. Deer turned around and informed the men that he is going to open the door. He asked them to get ready. Immediately he said this. The man used his access card to open the door. The moment they stepped in, he ordered his men to get in position. The men saw hundreds of contaminated slimes. These are low-ranked monsters. The basis of cleaning up contaminated mana and monsters is contaminated slime. Although they are weak in combat, the reason why they are difficult to kill is because they won't die until you find the little mana core somewhere in their body. When one of the men attacked the monster, it split its body and returned back to normal. The men struggled to kill the monsters. Even though they knew that they were supposed to find the mana core, they did not know how to find it. They knew that they will be exposed to contaminated mana if the fight drags on. While the men were struggling to escape the slimes, Jun-soo ran to help. One of them asked him to stay back. Our boy took out his shovel and jumped. The man was shocked to see Jun-soo aiming at him. Our boy told the man that he is not taking responsibility for what happens. The moment he said this, he landed on the ground and used the shovel to attack the monster. Surprisingly, Jun-soo managed to attack the slime on its core. The monster burst apart when its core got destroyed. The man fainted before he could see what happened. He assumed that our boy was going to destroy his balls. With a smile on his face, Jun-soo said that it is time for him to get warmed up. Our boy ran to the monsters. He located their mana cores easily and managed to destroy them without any effort. Jun-soo tore through the monsters like they were nothing. Everyone was shocked to see this. One of the men said that he is killing all the slimes in one strike. The men did not know how this was possible. This was possible for only Jun-soo. 2 days earlier, we see Jun-soo searching the playground for something. A child asked his mom to tell him why our boy is acting weird. Our boy was certain that the thing he is looking for should be around there. After searching for a while, our boy found 501 on the ground. The moment he found this, he obtained a trait known as treasure hunting. Jun-soo was happy to see that he got Warrior Kim's most important trait. He was so happy to see that he had gotten 501. The boy's mom covered his eyes and asked him to walk forward before something happens. Before monster cleaning, Jun-soo learned a few important things while gathering some necessary traits. In the next scene, we see our boy vomit into a dustbin. He was at a garbage center. After vomiting, he obtained contamination resistance. This was the hardest trait to obtain. The first thing Jun-soo learned was that traits are gotten in the same way as the game. As long as certain conditions are satisfied, the trait will be obtained. The second thing he learned is that you can only have a total of 6 traits. You can switch between the traits you have earned whenever you want. The treasure hunt trait allows a person to find their opponent's weakness. Thanks to this trait, our boy is able to see the mana cores. Jun-soo managed to beat the biggest slime in the building. The slime rose up and burst. Deer asked his teammates to be careful not to get hit. After taking care of the monster, Jun-soo turned around. He said that his hard work paid off. With a creepy smile on his face, our boy said that Warrior Kim's labor specialty is amazing. With his contamination resistance trait, our boy gains resistance against contaminated mana. The scene shifts and we see the team in a bus. Jun-soo seemed exhausted. Even with the help of the traits, it was still tiring to work all day. Hedgehog moved close to Jun-soo. With a smile on his face, he told him that they are able to go home early because of him. The man told Jun-soo that it was amazing to see him work. He asked him if he is waiting to awaken like deer. Jun-soo explained to him that he simply knows how to shovel thanks to his military experience. With a smile on his face, Hedgehog told him that he is amazing. While he was talking, Jun-soo noticed that Hedgehog had grown horns on his head. He realized that Hedgehog mutation symptoms are getting worse. It was obvious that the man had been exposed to too much contaminated mana. Jun-soo made the man understand that he does not look good. He asked him to get some rest tomorrow. Hedgehog told our boy that he would rather become a mutant than face his debt collectors. Jun-soo was not surprised to hear this. He knew that there weren't many reasons why people would take on this kind of job. For days later, we see some of the men puking after finishing their jobs. Jun-soo was still quite strong. The others were tired because they had been working for days. Hedgehog was also vomiting. The man's symptoms had become worse. Jun-soo knew that this would happen. This is why he asked him not to push himself too hard. Deer walked up to Jun-soo. He told our boy that he looks ready to go. He asked him if he is so energetic because he is young. While smoking a cigarette, Deer told him that he never expected him to do his part. He commended Jun-soo on his hard work. With a smile on his face, Jun-soo told the man that they were able to finish thanks to the efforts of everyone. Thanks to the new trait he earned while monster cleaning, our boy's work became easy for him. Jun-soo noticed that Deer was holding on well. He wondered if it is because he is a R-rank character. Deer sat on the ground and said that he is tired. While looking at Deer, Jun-soo heard someone screaming. He quickly turned around. He saw Hedgehog screaming. The man's mutation was increasing rapidly. The other teammates gathered around him to see if he is okay. One of them told him that something is wrong with his spine. Deer quickly ran to Hedgehog. He asked him to hold on. He told him that they will get out of here now. Unfortunately for him, Hedgehog seemed to have lost his mind. He pushed everyone aside and caused a huge explosion. Jun-soo was shocked to see this. When the dust cleared up, Hedgehog had fully transformed into a huge mutant. He became a hedgehog mutant. Jun-soo could tell that the man had lost his sanity. He knew that they could not get out of here if they did not defeat him. Since all the traits our boy has are specialized for monster cleaning, there is nothing that can help in combat. Jun-soo realized that they were screwed. Hedgehog used his huge hand to slap our boy. Jun-soo was sent flying. His body got slammed to the ground. He spat out some blood. Jun-soo was shocked to see the power difference between them. He realized that he might die here. Immediately he thought of this. He obtained the endurance trait. Jun-soo realized that he still had his traits. He realized that it was too early for him to give up. In order to survive, he had to think of a way to defeat the monster in front of him. Jun-soo decided to delete some traits. He added strength to his list. He added mana heart to help him control mana and endurance to reduce all damage taken. Mana absorption allows him to absorb mana, and deep respiration grants him higher mana regeneration. The final trait he added was contamination resistance. After selecting his traits, Jun-soo stood up and took a stance. Hedgehog growled and ran to him. Our boy activated his strength trait. The trait amplifies power by over 10-fold. He added the trait to his shovel. He used it to hit Hedgehog on the head. The monster was sent flying. Jun-soo was happy to see what he had done. He believed that he can face this mutant. While he was in the air, the Hedgehog rolled his body together. Our boy was surprised to see this. Hedgehog rushed to attack him. Jun-soo did not know what he was looking at. As he got close to our boy, he jumped up. Jun-soo could not believe what he was seeing. The monster landed on him and buried him in the ground. After doing this, Hedgehog stepped back. To his surprise, Jun-soo jumped out of the ground. Our boy had used the endurance trait to block the attack. The endurance trait amplifies defense by over 10-fold. Even with the trait, our boy still felt a lot of pain. Although he was in pain, Jun-soo knew that he would die if he stopped now. He moved close to the monster and began to attack furiously. He had no choice but to keep attacking. Hedgehog bent his spine and aimed it at Jun-soo. He fired one of his spine at our boy. Jun-soo barely managed to dodge it. Hedgehog did not give him the time to react. He began to fire multiple spines at him. Our boy could not block the attacks. The spines went into his skin. He fell to the ground. Junsu told himself that he needs to do a little more. Instead of lying on the ground, our boy stood up and rushed to attack the monster. The moment he landed a blow on Hedgehog, his hand shattered into several pieces. Our boy screamed out in pain. Hedgehog grit his teeth and fired multiple spines at Junsu. The spines took out his other hand. He screamed out in pain. When he fell to the ground, the monster put its hands together. Junsu grit his teeth to withstand the pain. He realized that he can't win with Warrior Kim's body. Hedgehog pounded our boy with his fist. The scene shifts and we are taken to the past. We see Junsu playing Arcane Soul on his phone. With a smile on his face, Junsu asked the monsters to come at him. He said that he will defeat them all with Warrior Kim. Back when he was playing the game, everything was easy. All he needed was a single click to hunt down monsters. He never thought about how the character would feel. He simply pushed the character into extremities under the pretext of efficient training. Now Junsu understood that it takes suffering to obtain a mediocre trait. The scene shifts and we are taken back. We see our boy block Hedgehog's punch with his hand. He gave Hedgehog a punch that sent him flying. Junsu obtained a trait known as Mutant Muscle. His arms were as big as Hedgehog's own and he had spines on them. Our boy had come to understand that there is no way to win in this game without paying a price. Hedgehog got slammed to the ground. The reason why Junsu attacked recklessly is to get a trait that is obtainable when surpassing the limit with Mana Heart and Strength traits activated. Hedgehog stood up and rushed to attack our boy. Junsu blocked the monster's punch with his arm. He began to attack the monster fiercely. Hedgehog had to put his hand together to block the attacks. Our boy dared him to hit him. Hedgehog covered his fist with his spines and slammed Junsu to the ground. Our boy spat out some blood. He realized that the monster had not been using its full strength. After putting some holes into our boy, the monster stepped back. To his surprise, Junsu's body began to move weirdly. Our boy stood up. His body was much bigger. He obtained a trait known as Mutant Body. With a smile on his face, Junsu told the monster that he has grown stronger thanks to him. Hedgehog ran to attack him. The two of them locked hands and tried to suppress each other. Junsu told him that they are now on equal footing. While they were fighting, Deer woke up. He did not know why everywhere was so noisy. When the man looked up, he saw our boy and the mutant fighting. He was shocked to see Junsu fighting. He wondered if he is a superhuman. He could not believe that a human was fighting on equal footing against a mutant. Our boy and Hedgehog knocked each other back. The two of them slammed themselves to the ground. Although he was now the same size as the mutant, the fight was not still easy. Junsu realized that he will soon be at a disadvantage. The mutant stood up and screamed. It still had a lot of energy. Our boy had another method he could use. He did not want to use it because it is a bit dangerous. However, he no longer has any choice. Hedgehog rolled himself and rushed to attack our boy. Junsu activated his contamination resistance trait. The trait helps him to develop a resistance to contaminated mana. Our boy realized that he had to believe in himself. He asked the system to delete the trait. Immediately he deleted the trait. His body began to transform. His skin turned red and his body became bigger. He transformed into a mutant before Hedgehog reached him. Our boy had fully transformed. A magic circle appeared next to his head. He screamed in this magic circle and released a large amount of energy. Hedgehog had to defend himself with his hand. Unfortunately for him, it was not enough. The attack knocked him out. Deer was shocked to see what was standing in front of him. Junsu looked like a cooler version of Red Hulk. Deer could not believe that he became a mutant while fighting against one. He did not know how such a thing was possible. This particular trait is known as mutant. While on his knees, Deer turned around. He realized that he needed to get out of there. Before he could get far, Deer heard Junsu growl. When he looked up, he saw his hand coming at him. Deer closed his eyes out of fear. To his surprise, nothing happened. When he opened his eyes, he saw our boy in his human form. Deer was shocked to see this. Junsu fell to the ground. While breathing heavily, he said that he did it. If a person is in possession of mutant muscles and mutant body, and the person deletes contamination resistance, the person will get mutant. The common belief is that once you turn into a mutant, you cannot change back, but our boy knew otherwise. He knew that he would be able to change the trait as long as he could think reasonably for a little bit. Because he was able to think for a little time, Junsu was able to switch out mutant for corruption resistance. While he was resting, our boy thinks about the fact that he felt as if his bones were moving around. He hoped that he never had to use this skill again. After resting for a while, our boy stood up and walked up to the mutant. He saw a mana core on top of its mouth. When he picked it up, the system told him that he has obtained a level 1 mana core. Junsu began to smile like a crazy person. He told himself that the fight was worth it. He was quite happy that he got into the cleaning job. While he was cheering, Deer and the other teammates walked up to him. Deer asked him if he is all right. The men had stern looks on their faces. Deer reminded Junsu that he became a mutant. He asked him to tell him how he is normal. Our boy did not like this. He did not want any strange rumors about him to circulate. He explained to Deer that he gambled on the chance that he will return to normal. He told him that he was extremely lucky. Deer did not believe this. He had never heard of anyone being so lucky. Before he could ask more questions, Junsu gave him a large amount of mana cores. The man was surprised to see this. Junsu turned around and said that he is going to get some fresh air. The other men were shocked to see the amount of level 0 cores which our boy gave their leader. Junsu believed that the men will keep his secret because he saved their lives and gave them some mana cores. The scene shifts and we are taken to the director's office. With a gentle smile on his face, Seonsu told our boy that he heard about the hardship he went through. Junsu told him that it was simply a small amount of hard work. He did not understand why the director was kissing his ass. Seonsu explained to him that he should have told him that he was a superhuman. He assured him that they could have gotten him a proper job. Junsu found it funny that the director thought that he is a superhuman. In Arcane Soul, a superhuman awakens an ability that allows them to obtain powerful mana. In a world where strength is power and authority, superhumans are basically nobles. Our boy was not surprised to see that the director thought of this. Only superhumans can defeat mutants. Seonsu placed his hand in his pocket and told Junsu that he wants to pay him for the cleanup. The man brought out a big fat bag. Our boy decided to allow him think that he is a superhuman. Seonsu explained to him that they will be taken 20% from the total of 50 million won. He told him that he is supposed to receive 5 million won after the money is shared among the team. However, the director decided to do things differently. He revealed to him that they will only be taking 5% out of his share. He told him that he will also get a bonus. The director gave Junsu 12 million won. Our boy was shocked to see the amount. Junsu began to smile weirdly. Seonsu said that he hopes to continue working with him. Our boy was happy to be seen as a superhuman. He walked out of the office with his cash in a bag. He wondered how he was going to spend the money. Immediately he came out. Someone told him that he looks like he is in a good mood. The man said that he must have gotten paid a lot of money. Our boy reminded the man that they just finished a job. He remembered the man as one of the people that he worked with. The man explained to him that he actually came to ask for a favor. Junsu immediately hid his bag of money. The man revealed to him that his wife is actually sick. He asked Junsu if he can lend him some money. He apologized for asking for such a favor when they only worked together once. Our boy knew that it is not a good idea to help someone you don't know in this world. No one knows when the man will backstab him. The man bowed his head and begged Junsu. It was already hard for our boy to support himself. However, he was not a heartless person. He grabbed the man's hand and asked him to get up. He reminded him that he is older. With a smile on his face, Junsu gave the man some level 0 mana cores. He asked him to manage it. The scene shifts and we see the same man laughing like someone who had just scammed a person. The man called Junsu a dumbass. He could not believe that our boy helped him simply because he pretended to be some poor old man. The bastard was with the rest of the team. Deer asked the man if Junsu is new to this kind of things. The man said that he would have gotten more if he said his child was sick too. The ungrateful pig explained to Deer that he is annoyed that our boy got more money than them. He told them that the director gave them trash and gave our boy some parts of their shares. Deer laughed and said that Junsu is not even a superhuman. He said that they need to teach him a lesson. The man asked him if he has an idea. With a smile on his face, Deer called Junsu a silly little idiot. He said that our boy must have some kind of strange ability. He crushed the mana cores. With a creepy smile on his face, Deer told his teammates that they need to teach Junsu how scary the world can be. In the next scene, we see Junsu at a hotel spa. He was getting a massage. He was quite happy that he got paid. He never knew that he would see the day where he could get a massage at a place like this. He said that the game is better than reality. Immediately he said this, he felt some pain in his arm when the masseur pressed it. The pain was quite much. Even though Junsu spent 3 days resting at this hospital, he was still feeling some pain in his arm. Our boy realized that he needs to think twice before using any mutant-related traits. Changing traits is not as omnipotent as Junsu thought. His body changes depending on the trait, and the severity of the side effects increases the more his body changes. The problem Junsu had was that he was not certain if he can survive in this world after limiting his traits. While looking through the glass, our boy saw something. He saw a man with some tattoos under a shade. The man had his subordinates next to him. Junsu realized that this was the Iron Fist gang. He could not believe that they were still going around the city with their unique air of arrogance. Arcane Soul is actually dominated by local gangs rather than by law. This is expected because there are too many monsters around, and people have to depend on superhumans. Even though he managed to survive the incident, Junsu knew that it would be stupid for him to depend on his traits in this dangerous place. With a scary smile on his face, our boy said that everything comes down to items. The scene shifts and we see Junsu at a store. The store owner asked him if he came to sell something. He revealed to her that he came to sell some monster byproducts. The woman took a careful look at our boy. She noticed that he looked rough and poor. She told him that they do not buy level 0 mana cores. Junsu assured her that he is aware. He put his hand into his bag and took out a blue marble. The woman was shocked to see this. She could not believe that she was looking at a level 2 mana core. Junsu asked her to take a look at it. He was actually quite happy to see the woman surprised. He realized that his hard work in the hotel room paid off. Junsu fused the level 1 core and the other cores that he had to get a level 2 mana core. The price of a core differs depending on the level. A single level 2 mana core should be worth more than a large amount of level 0 cores. The woman paid Junsu 4.7 million won for the core. He thanked her and accepted the money. He asked the woman if she sells weapons or armors. With a smile on her face, the woman told him that she does. She asked him to follow her to the back. When he arrived in the room, he began to smile. He told the woman that they have everything in this place. All the basic items he used in the game were available here. The woman asked him to take his time. Like a child that has just received a toy, Junsu told her that he will enjoy himself. He was very excited to gear up. In the next scene, we see Junsu walking home with a large amount of guns in his bag. Now that he had acquired weapons, our boy finally felt like he was playing Arcane Soul. While he was walking, someone calls him. When he turned around, he saw a young lady with a cap on her head. The woman asked him if he is a mercenary. She told him that she needs some help. Junsu told her that he is not a mercenary. He asked her to look for someone else. She placed her hand into her bag and took out a bundle of cash. She explained to Junsu that she is here on a business trip, but the Iron Fist gang keeps scaring her. She asked him if he can protect her on her way to her lodging. Junsu could not believe that the woman was offering 500,000 won for a bodyguard job. It felt like one of his daily quests. Our boy decided to try it since he was geared up. He placed his hand on her shoulder and said that he could not ignore a lady in danger. He turned around and asked her to follow him. The woman was very happy to hear this. In the next scene, we see Junsu and the woman walking up a shady neighborhood. Rain was drizzling in the area. The woman told him that they are almost there. Junsu did not understand why the woman was staying in such a shady place. There wasn't a single ant in sight. The woman turned to a corner and told our boy that her place is after the corner. Before Junsu could turn into the corner, the woman told him that he is almost there. She asked him to quickly follow her. Our boy told her that everywhere is quite dark. While struggling to see where the woman was, Junsu acquired the night vision trait. He was surprised to see that he actually got a trait. When he used the trait, he saw the woman holding a gun in the dark. She pointed the gun at him. She never expected Junsu to be so cautious. Our boy was surprised to see the woman holding a gun. He quickly realized that this was a trap. Immediately he took a step back. He hit something. When our boy turned around, he saw Deer. He was with their other teammates. With a smile on his face, the man asked him to tell him where he is going. He told our boy that it is nice to see him again in this situation. While looking around, Junsu asked Deer to tell him what he did to deserve this. The man told him that he was simply a gullible bastard. Before he could say more, our boy threw away his bag and ran. Deer was shocked to see this. He called him a scoundrel. He could not believe that Junsu would run away after starting a conversation. He ordered the woman to shoot him. The woman quickly shot Junsu. Unfortunately for our boy, he had not gotten far. The bullet hit him in his shoulder. He fell to the ground. Deer was annoyed to see this. He told the woman that she was supposed to shoot his leg. The woman reminded him that Junsu did not get away. Deer noticed that our boy's body was disfigured. He realized that he might be dead. He said that Junsu returned to being human after becoming a mutant. The woman revealed to him that some mages would be willing to buy his dead body. Deer told her that they would have gotten more money if he was captured alive. One of the men said that they need to loot his bags and equipment first. Deer told the man that he is right. He asked him to do it. The moment he said this, he noticed that Junsu was no longer lying on the ground. Everyone was shocked to see this. Deer asked them to tell him where Junsu went. Immediately he said this. Someone broke a street light and knocked one of the men out. Everyone did not know what was happening. Deer said that Junsu might still be alive. While using his night vision trait to see in the dark, our boy said that he cannot die to someone who repays kindness with betrayal. Junsu equipped strength, vigor, endurance, mana heart, night vision, and mana recovery. Fortunately for Junsu, he wore a bulletproof vest before exiting the store. The bullet hit the vest. Our boy still fell to the ground. Thanks to the vest, he was able to obtain a trait that he needed. The trait is known as playing dead. While trying to see in the dark, Deer and his teammates began to panic. The man asked them to tell him where our boy is. The moment he said this, Junsu appeared next to him. He asked him if he is looking for him. Our boy rushed to attack him. He told Deer that he will be taking his life since he saved him. Immediately he said this, he hit Deer in his face. The man fell to the ground. He quickly stood up and rushed to attack Junsu with his leg. Our boy dodged the attack. He punched Deer in his face and told him that he is supposed to be grateful to him. He asked him if he still believes that it is the right thing to try and kill your savior. Before the man fell to the ground, Junsu put his leg above his head. Before he could crush Deer's head, the woman fired her gun. She did not seem to know where Junsu was. She simply fired based on instinct. She asked Deer if he is okay. Our boy noticed that the bullet grazed him. He realized that he got careless. In Arcane Soul, the scariest thing isn't monsters or mutants, it is humans. Junsu placed his hand into his pocket. He realized that he was too naive and he trusted people easily. He took out a gun from his pocket. He told himself that he will never make this same mistake again. He fired a shot at the woman and knocked the gun out of her hand. He fired another shot at one of the men. He shot him in his shoulder. The two of them were incapacitated. After taking care of them, Junsu realized that he needed to kill Deer to be safe. Immediately he thought of this. He saw Deer behind him. The man tried to hit him in his head. Our boy was shocked to see his legs coming close to his face. Although his gun got knocked out of his hand, Junsu managed to still block the attack by putting his hand together. Our boy noticed that Deer no longer had any legs. His legs had transformed into hooves. Deer had now awakened. He was now a level 1 superhuman. Junsu could not believe that the man managed to go through superhuman awakening while he was down. He could not believe that someone gave this game such an annoying setting. Since all playable characters are able to go through superhuman awakening, it's considered the basic growth system of this game. In Arcane Soul, a level 1 superhuman is strong enough to threaten an ordinary civilian holding an automatic rifle. Deer told our boy that he will kill him. Junsu quickly stepped back when he heard this. He could not believe that he had to deal with a superhuman with an ordinary body. Before he could do anything, Deer disappeared in front of him. Our boy was shocked to see this. The trait which Deer possesses are stereoscopic movement and kicking. Stereoscopic movement allows the user to use his incredible leg elasticity to move freely in any direction. Deer used this trait to climb the building wall next to Junsu. Our boy was shocked to see the man above him. Deer quickly jumped. Junsu managed to dodge the man's attack by moving to the side. Deer destroyed the ground when he landed. He was annoyed to see that Junsu managed to dodge his attack. He quickly rushed to attack him. He assured him that he will not be able to dodge this attack. His leg actually managed to hit our boy. The man was happy to see this. Junsu told him that he never had any intention of dodging the attack. Deer was shocked to hear this. The moment he said this, we see that our boy managed to block the attack with a baton. With a smile on his face, he referred to Deer as a stupid animal. Junsu was happy that he bought an expendable baton. While he was looking at the items in the store, our boy wondered if he should buy a gun. This is because Warrior Kim is a warrior class character. Even if he was to become stronger, there is a limit to how effective he can wield a gun. Junsu decided to buy a warrior class weapon in case something happens. He chose to buy the baton. Each character has weapons and traits that are more effective for their class. This is why our boy needs to use a close-range weapon and traits that are fit for a warrior in order to defeat this greedy bastard. Deer took his leg off the baton. Junsu immediately stretched out the baton. He rushed to attack the man. He slammed the baton on the man. Deer fell to the ground. Our boy acquired a trait known as Strike when he did this. Junsu was happy to see this. This was his first class-specific trait. He began to attack Deer more fiercely. Fortunately for the man, He was fast enough to dodge the attacks. The moment he saw an opening, he rushed to attack Junsu with his leg. When our boy saw the man's leg coming towards him, he wondered if he should dodge it. Junsu grit his teeth. He told himself that he cannot stop after coming this far. He said that he needs to keep attacking even if he breaks a bone. He used his hand to block Deer's leg and slammed his baton on the man's leg. Although he blocked the attack, it was still quite painful. Junsu's baton began to release some energy. He obtained a trait known as combo. Our boy was happy to see this. The best warrior class trait build for early stages is strike and combo. Junsu activated the two traits and began to attack the man mercilessly. Deer could only receive the attacks. He begged Junsu to stop. Our boy used the baton to hit him in the chest when he said this. Deer screamed out in pain and fell to the ground. Junsu raised his hand up and began to shout. He could not believe that he defeated and awakened. While he was screaming, he felt an odd sensation in his body. Junsu did not know what was happening. His entire body was filled with pain. Yet he could feel something else brimming from within. While he was struggling to get a hold of himself, he understood what was happening. His body caused a huge explosion. When the dust cleared up, we see a golden energy cover Junsu's body. He was surprised to see this. The day which our boy learned the cruel truth of arcane soul was the day he awakened. He was now a level 1 superhuman. With a creepy look on his face, Junsu celebrated the fact that he had finally become a superhuman. While trying to break dance, he said that he will now be getting high-paying jobs and low-interest bank loans. While he was dancing, someone walked up to him. The man said that he has done something stupid. Junsu quickly turned around when he heard this. He saw a huge man with a cigar in his mouth. The man had a huge metallic arm and a bazooka. The man was with other men who wore suits. Junsu immediately recognized the man in front of him. This character is known as Iron Fist Kim. He is the second basic character given in Arcane Soul after Warrior Kim. He is a character from the Reinforced Soldier class who uses firearms as his primary weapon. He specializes in shooting with his prosthetic arm. The only issue with this character is that he is the feared boss of the Iron Fist gang of the underworld. Junsu realized that he must have seriously provoked the gang because he fought in their territory. Iron Fist Kim gave his bazooka to his subordinate. He asked our boy if he knew where he was before he made a mess. Junsu became nervous when he heard this. He explained to the man that he was suddenly attacked and had no choice but to defend himself. Iron Fist Kim took out a gun and asked Junsu if the people who attacked him are scarier than the Iron Fist gang. Our boy was shocked to see the gun. He knew that he would die if he fought in his current condition. Iron Fist Kim placed the gun on his chest and told him that he made a stupid choice. With a scary look on his face, he told Junsu that he needs to see what happens when someone defies their territory. Surprisingly, Junsu was quite calm. He told Iron Fist Kim that he missed something very important. He grabbed the gun and told him that he is not the type of guy that dies easily. Immediately he said this, he used his hand to push the man's hand. Iron Fist Kim fired his gun at our boy's chest. The bullet passed through Junsu's chest. The man was shocked to see what Junsu made him do. He could not believe that he pulled the trigger on his own. While trying to regain his balance, our boy told the man that the bullet tickles. The moment he said this, he acquired a trait known as regeneration. The hole in his chest was closed up. Iron Fist Kim smiled when he saw what Junsu did. He told him that he has an interesting ability. Our boy smiled when he heard this. The new trait he got was the upgraded version of the wound recovery trait. Regeneration is a trait that is obtainable once a person becomes a level 1 superhuman. Junsu knew that he was still in danger. He realized that everything is over for him once the gang starts looking down on him. He decided to go with his bluff tactic. He pointed to the unconscious bodies behind him. He told Iron Fist Kim that he did not survive out of luck. With a confident smile on his face, he asked the man to be prepared if he messes with Warrior Kim. Iron Fist Kim smiled when he heard his name. He told him that he likes his guts. He revealed to Junsu that he will let him go. He told him that he will owe him a debt for the favor. He moved close to our boy and placed his hand on his shoulder. He asked him to not forget the debt. Junsu assured him that he will remember it. Iron Fist Kim stretched out his hand and told our boy that he wants to work on a job with him next time. Junsu knew that Iron Fist Kim is not the type to betray a person. He realized that it would be beneficial to him if he builds a connection to the gangster. He shook his hand and told him that he will see him next time. In the next scene, we are taken to Jamsil Superhuman Tower. It was a magnificent structure that towered over every building in the area. When he went into the building, Jun-soo took off his shades. He had only ever seen the inside in the game. He never expected it to be such a spectacle. The tower was quite beautiful and luxurious. It looked like a mega mall. While he was looking around, someone welcomes him to the superhuman tower. A beautiful woman in a suit asked him about what he wants to do. Jun-soo was surprised to see how beautiful she was. He noticed that the lady looks familiar. He wondered if she is an NPC. With a smile on her face, the attendant asked him if he is here for the superhuman certification. She pointed at a machine and asked him to go close to the machine to measure his mana and trait circuit. Jun-soo noticed that he never asked the woman for directions, but she still guided him. He realized that he must have seemed like a rookie to the attendant. Jun-soo told himself that he will begin his real life in Arcane Soul once he gets the superhuman certification. The moment he said this, he hears a loud sound. He quickly raised his head up. The people around him seemed to be happy to hear this sound. They said that the Saintess is coming. There was an opening at the top of the ceiling. An airship shined a light from the opening. The beam of light was quite bright. Jun-soo was shocked to see the people that came out of this beam of light. He referred to them as the Old Father's Order. These people were wearing huge armors and helmet. At the center of the order was a woman. The woman was carrying a huge axe. Jun-soo was shocked to see the woman. He did not know why a boss monster was in the building. The people in the building all put their hands together to greet the woman known as the Saintess of the Old Father's Order. Jun-soo realized that the woman was still known as the Saintess because he was still in the tutorial stage of the game. However, as the story progresses, it is revealed that the order is actually a cult disguised as a religion. They later attacked the citizens indiscriminately. The people were surprised to see that the Saintess had come for a mana measurement. They realized that she is there for a level renewal. The Saintess stood next to the machine and released her mana. Her mana was quite strong. It sent everything around her flying. Even our boy had to use his arm to cover his face. After she put in her mana into the machine, she and the citizens stared at it to see the results. Without wasting time, the machine revealed her information. The Saintess belongs to the priest class and she is 27 years old. Her mana level is 8 and she has a 6-layered circuit. The citizens began to cheer when they saw her mana level. The Saintess simply smiled. They could not believe that she even had a 6-layered circuit. Jun-soo began to tremble when he saw her information. He did not understand why these people were cheering. A level 8 superhuman can be compared to an aircraft carrier squadron. The Saintess was basically a walking national-level superpower. Jun-soo did not know how to tell this people that the Saintess is a superhuman who will wipe out Seoul in the future. He knew that they would treat him like a madman and throw rocks at him. He decided to focus on his own mana measurement. Our boy was certain that he would gather too much attention to himself if it is revealed that a rookie like him has 6 traits. He decided to reduce it to 3. Immediately, he opened his system. The Saintess turned to him. Her men asked her if something is wrong. The woman said that there is an uncommon individual with them. While he was reducing his traits, the Saintess appeared behind him. With a creepy smile on her face, she told Jun-soo that he has an intriguing ability. Our boy was shocked to see her next to him. He was shocked to hear what the boss monster said to him. He could not believe that the Saintess sensed that he switched his traits. The citizens did not understand why the Saintess would talk to Jun-soo. He seemed like an ordinary person to them. The woman grabbed our boy's hand and asked him for his name. He introduced himself as Warrior Kim. Immediately he said this. He realized that he messed up. The only reason why a priest would ask for your name in Arcane Soul is to baptize a person. The Saintess held Jun-soo tightly. She told him that she represents the Old Father's Order and she wants to baptize him. With a scary look in her eyes, she said that the Old Father, who is also known as the Lord of the Black Gold Throne, always desires rare powers. She asked our boy to submit to the Old Father and to find peace in the hellish world. The moment she said this, some writings appeared on Jun-soo's hand. The citizens were jealous to see that our boy was getting baptized by the Old Father's first daughter. Jun-soo actually hated what was happening. If he was to get baptized and obtain the baptism trait, he would have no choice but to become a paladin of the order. However, in the war against South Korea, the Old Father's Order loses to significant figures in Arcane Soul. Jun-soo felt like he was being forced to go all in on a stock that is going to be delisted. He pushed the Saintess's hand away. The citizens were shocked to see this. Our boy fell to his knees. He told the Saintess that he does not want to be baptized. The Saintess was shocked to hear this. She believed that she was hearing the wrong thing. Jun-soo assured her that he is serious. Upon hearing this, The saintess said that it is up to him to choose if he wants to serve the old father. She grabbed him and told him that the old father has already laid his eyes on him. Junsu was surprised to hear this. The moment the woman said this, she put a black mana into our boy's body. He was quite shocked to see this. With a villainous smile on her face, the saintess asked Junsu to not forget that a holy mote has taken root inside him. She turned around and said that his free will is worthless if he cannot overcome such a tiny mote. Immediately she said this, Junsu noticed that his hand was on fire. He screamed out in pain as the flame engulfed his body. The citizens did not feel pity for him. They were actually annoyed that a rookie refused to be baptized. They wondered if Junsu hated religion. While he was burning, he received a trait known as divine fever. The trait makes him suffer an unending pain as punishment for refusing baptism. Our boy grit his teeth. He tried to regain his composure. He already knew that he would suffer for his refusal, but the pain was on a whole other level. Divine fever is one of the strongest debuffs in the entirety of Arcane Soul. By causing burning pain endlessly, it prevents one from continuing with their ordinary life. The only way to get rid of it is to go to the temple to get baptized. Although Junsu refused the baptism because he was worried about the future, he realized that he can die now. He fell to the floor. He did not have the energy to support himself. Before he lost consciousness, someone poured some water on his face. When he opened his eyes, he saw the beautiful attendant. She asked him if he is all right. Junsu could not believe his eyes. Nobody helps someone affected by the divine fever debuff because they fear that the negativity might spread to them. Our boy was grateful to the woman. He decided to endure the pain for a little while. He pushed himself up. The moment he sat in a lotus position, he received a trait known as divine resistance. Junsu had his reason for refusing the baptism. The divine fever debuff gets stronger depending on the target's total amount of mana. Because he is still a level 1 superhuman, the debuff is still much weaker. There are still some solutions that he can use. The first condition is to obtain the divine resistance trait. The next thing to do is to gather all the mana within his body. Junsu raised his hand and activated his mana-related traits. The fire began to burn faster when he did this. The attendant began to panic. She poured more water on him. Junsu became calmer when he felt the water on his head. The water was like the water of life to him. He realized that he needs to focus on this contrasting sensation. He wanted to focus on the feeling of fire and water. Our boy circulated this feeling around his body. He focused on the burning pain and the cold reason. With the mana within his body, he decided to extinguish the fire. Immediately he said this to himself. The energy around him turned blue. It released a bright light. After the light shined, our boy stood up. He obtained a new trait known as Mana Barrier. The blue energy covered his body. Junsu was happy to see what he accomplished. Mana Barrier is a Tier 1 common trait that a defensive warrior must obtain. The attendant asked him if he is all right. He assured her that he is fine. He thanked her for her help. The citizens were shocked to see that our boy overcame divine fever. They did not think that such a thing was possible. They wondered if he used some cheat skill. Junsu did not actually overcome the divine fever. He simply created a temporary measure against it with the barrier. He was satisfied with the barrier because he was freed from the burning pain. The only thing he liked about the divine fever was the cool black flame which cannot be seen by non-superhumans. Junsu moved close to the machine. He decided to measure his mana. After his measurement was completed, the machine displayed his information. He is 22 years old. His mana level is 1 and he has a 6-layered circuit. Everyone was shocked to see the amount of traits he had. They realized that this was the birth of a super rookie. They understood why the Saintess wanted to recruit him. Junsu did not like the fact that he garnered a lot of attention. He wanted to quietly grow stronger. The attendant congratulated him on becoming a superhuman. She said that it is her first time seeing someone start with 6 traits. She asked him to follow her to get his superhuman license. The scene shifts and we see the woman give Junsu his license. She congratulated him on becoming an officially certified superhuman. Our boy was quite happy to see the license. He could not believe that he had to work incredibly hard to get the license. The woman told him that she wants to explain all the special privileges a level 1 superhuman gets. Junsu asked her to not worry about it. He revealed to her that he is already aware of the privileges. With a smile on his face, he told her that he gets tax reduction, the right to carry weapons. As your level increases, exemption from all taxes is given and immunity from arrest. Superhumans are also granted free access to all transportation and many more benefits. The attendant was surprised to see that our boy actually knew about the privileges. Jun-soo wanted to say that he knew about it because he is a game addict, but he quickly retracts his words. He said that he is a doctor in superhumanology. With a nervous look on his face, he explained to the woman that he doesn't like wasting time. While staring at the citizens standing close to the glass, he asked the attendant if there is a way to quietly get out of the building. The attendant stood up and smiled. She revealed to him that she has already prepared a path for him. Jun-soo was surprised to hear this. The woman grabbed a coat. With a bright smile on her face, she asked him to follow her. In the next scene, we see them running through the secret passage. Our boy thanked her for taking care of him. He could not believe that she provided a stealth cloak and a secret passage. The attendant assured him that it is fine. While running, Jun-soo obtained a new trait known as stealth. He was very happy to see that he got a nice trait for free. The woman stopped running and pointed at a door. She explained to him that he simply has to walk out the door. She told him that she can only guide him to this point because of the rules. Jun-soo bowed his head and thanked her for what she has done for him. The woman asked him to have a safe trip back home. Our boy watched the attendant as she walked forward. He could not believe that such a kind person exists in Arcane Soul. He promised to repay the favor when he gets stronger. Our boy realized that he had her business card. He decided to check her name. He was shocked to see the name on the card. The attendant's name is Baek Soren. This is the name of one of the 3 strongest SSR rank warrior characters in the game. She is a berserker, so she always had a scary appearance. Jun-soo already found it strange that the woman's face was familiar. She always had such a scary look in the game, so he never imagined that she could be the attendant. Our boy could not believe that Soren used to be such a kind person. He wondered about what caused the drastic change in her behavior. In the next scene, we see Jun-soo destroy a slime at his job. He could not believe that people said that it is good to be a superhuman. Because he is a superhuman, he has been cleaning up this dungeons for a week straight. He felt like he was going to die from overworking himself. Our boy sat on the ground. He could not believe that he was already tired from cleaning one dungeon. He knew that this method was not efficient. The biggest reason why he got so tired was because he focused all his traits on maintaining the mana barrier. If he had customized his traits to focus on the dungeon cleaning, he would have already been done hours ago. Jun-soo could not take any other job because of the debuff. He realized that he needs a rare potion called Nectar to eliminate the divine fever. Unfortunately, the potion is so expensive that this cleaning job cannot pay for it. Jun-soo did not know what to do. While he was wallowing in despair, someone calls his phone. Our boy was annoyed to see that it was the director. He did not know why the man has been calling him. He wanted to decline the call. Before he could touch the icon, he realized something. He thought of an amazing idea. The scene shifts and we see Jun-soo at the director's office. The director rushed to meet him. He looked like a puppy that was happy to see his master. He served our boy a drink. Seonsu referred to Jun-soo as the one who overcame the divine fever without getting baptized and the man who started with a 6-layered circuit. He told our boy that it is an honor to see him. Jun-soo did not understand why the man was overreacting. He told him that things just happened that way. He asked him if he has found the work that he requested. Seonsu took out his tab and told Jun-soo that it was difficult to find it. According to the director, Nectar is a medicine that can only be obtained by a level 5 or higher superhuman requests. Jun-soo believed that the man was wasting his time. He stood up and told him that he will leave if he does not have the job. Seonsu became nervous when he heard this. He begged our boy to wait. He reminded him that this is a matter involving his exclusive contract with him. He assured him that he has secured the job. Jun-soo smiled when he heard this. He already knew that Seonsu is a man who is desperate for a superhuman contract. He knew that Seonsu would find a request with a nectar reward. Our boy sat down. He asked the director to share the contents of the request. Seonsu placed his tab on the table. He showed our boy a picture and asked him if he has heard about the number 1 security. Our boy told him that this is his first time hearing of it. He asked him if it is a security firm. Seonsu explained to him that it is a private military company. It is one of the top 10 in the industry. The CEO and the vice CEO are a married couple. Both of them are from traditional martial arts family, so their foundation is solid. Jun-soo asked the director to tell him what a wealthy family is lacking for them to issue a request. The man revealed to him that their son is the problem. Jun-soo saw a picture of the man on the tab. According to Seonsu, their son has already passed the age of 20, but he hasn't awakened as a superhuman yet. Junsu was surprised to hear this. He found this weird because both parents are from traditional martial arts families. Seonsu revealed to him that he heard a rumor that said that the man has accumulated level 8 mana, but he still hasn't awakened. The condition of the parent was that they needed a level 1 or higher warrior-type superhuman. He assured Junsu that the job suits him. With a smile on his face, our boy told the director that he wants to meet the family. The scene shifts and we are taken to a nice mansion. We see the director and Junsu sitting on a comfy couch. Seonsu explained to our boy that the parents must be busy. He said that they are not the type of people to be late. Junsu was not listening to the man. He was more focused on how beautiful the house was. He could tell that the mansion was very expensive. While he was looking around, someone apologized to them for making them wait. The person turns out to be the wife. She told them that they are the clients. She introduced herself as Lee Miri and her husband as Seo Jungju. The two of them had a sword on their waists. The husband did not seem happy to see them. The director stood up and bowed his head at them. He thanked them for giving him their time. Junsu also bowed his head. He could tell that the couple were at least level 6 superhumans. Both of them possessed a large amount of mana. Jungju told his wife that he can already tell that Junsu is weak. Miri asked him to not talk like that. She asked him to go back to his room if he is going to act out. The man angrily sat down. His wife asked him to stop behaving rude. She asked the two men to take a seat. They thanked her and sat down. Due to the fact that they came to their house, the woman asked them if they have accepted their request. Junsu explained to her that he needs to first check her son's condition. He told them that he wants to see if there is a special reason why he cannot awaken. Jungju banged the table when he heard this. With a look of anger on his face, he told Junsu that he will never share this information with a rookie like him. Miri stood up and asked her husband to calm down. She explained to our boy that her husband is getting worked up because it is related to their child. She told Junsu that they cannot share any information with an outsider. She told him that she will call her son and explain the situation if he accepts their request. While looking at the blue energy that surrounded his body, Miri reminded him that he is also in dire need of a nectar. Seeing that there is a problem with their son that needs to be kept confidential and the fact that they had something he needed, Junsu became certain about something. With a smile on his face, he told Miri that he will accept the request. He asked her to call her son. Some minutes later, a boy stepped into the room. He introduced himself as Seo Woojin. Our boy greeted the man and shook his hand. He noticed that he could not feel any mana from him. The moment he let go of his hand, he noticed something. He saw an emblem on his glove. He told Woojin that he has a cool glove. The man told Junsu that the glove is more than he deserves. He said that he will always use it with gratitude. Our boy told him that he understands since he would have needed a strong mana ceiling. The family was shocked to hear this. With a smile on his face, Junsu told them that he became sure after he saw the gloves. He explained to them that even though it is a matter involving the critical affairs of their noble family, they deliberately set the conditions to require a warrior-type level 1 superhuman, and they used a nectar as a bait to summon him. He asked the parents if their son has also been baptized by the old father's order. He realized that the reason their son hasn't been able to awaken is because he also rejected the baptism and sealed away his mana to avoid divine fever. They couldn't publicly announce the issue, so they struggled with it until they heard a rumor about a level 1 superhuman overcoming divine fever. They decided to seek Junsu out. Woojin was quite impressed with our boy's deduction. He told him that he does not even need to explain anything else. He told our boy that he almost believed that he was a protagonist in a detective novel. While looking proud, our boy said that it is just a simple matter of reading the situation. Junsu believed that there is nothing for him to fear when he already knows the future. The moment he saw the picture of Woojin, he got the gist of it. This is because in the future, Woojin becomes the vanguard of the old father's order. He refused the baptism and held out, but his parents lost their powers. Eventually, Woojin gave up and joined the old father's order. Woojin's parents moved close to their son. With a look of worry on his face, Jungju asked Junsu if there is a way for their son to escape the baptism. Our boy smiled when he saw the arrogant man acting gentle. He told him that there is a way. Our boy had played Arcane Soul for 10,000 hours. It was impossible for him to not know a way. He placed his hand on Woojin's shoulder and told him that he understands the pain he is going through because he also went through it as well. He asked Woojin to trust him. He assured him that he will take the pain away. Woojin became emotional when he heard this. He hugged our boy. The parents also hugged each other. They were quite happy to hear that there was a way to remove the debuff. Junsu did not care if the Saintess was a villain. He could not believe that she tried to baptize him into some lowly cult. While smiling like a maniac, he said that the saint's future subordinate is now on his side. Junsu told the man that he wants to add another condition before they begin the treatment. The parents were surprised to hear about an additional condition. Our boy explained to them that the difficulty of the request has increased. Miri understood our boy. She realized that the issue is no longer about mana awakening. It also involves overcoming the divine fever. She asked him to tell her the additional condition. With a nervous look on his face, Junsu told them that he would like them to teach him the mountain-breaking swordsmanship. Their expressions became grim when they heard this. They never expected this condition. Even Wu Jin was shocked. The director immediately realized that they were screwed. Miri released her terrifying energy. With a scary look on her face, she asked Junsu if he fully understood what he just said. Our boy was horrified to feel her energy. He never expected her killing aura to be so intense. She was much scarier than her husband now. Even Jungju could not say anything. Junsu understood that she would be angry, but he never expected it to be on this level. The mountain-breaking swordsmanship is very important to Junsu. One might doubt his decision to learn swordsmanship in a 21st century information era. However, it is different in Arcane Soul where strength equates authority. Because a superhuman swordsman can easily destroy an entire tank, high-level fighters are traded for a fighter jet squadron which is worth trillions of won. If a level 1 superhuman learns and continuously trains in the mountain-breaking swordsmanship, they can reach level 4 without any difficulties. It is basically a cheat code for early gamers. Junsu remembered that only the elites can learn the mountain-breaking swordsmanship. He wondered if he crossed the line. With a nervous look on his face, he told Miri that he will get the swordsmanship only if he completes the request. The moment he said this, Wu Jin called out to his mom. Miri realized that she was going overboard. She quickly took away her killing aura. She explained to Junsu that she will give him a memory chip containing the mountain-breaking swordsmanship along with the nectar if he succeeds. Our boy was shocked to see that she actually accepted his condition. He never expected this. He bowed his head to show his appreciation. He believed that she was going to kill him. He could not believe that he was now going to get the nectar and the swordsmanship. With a sad look in her eyes, Miri told Junsu that she and her husband will be very disappointed if he fails. Our boy assured her that he won't fail. He told her that it is better he starts as soon as possible. Wu Jin was surprised to hear this. The scene shifts and we are taken to another building. Miri said that this is a room with a mana focusing circle. She told Junsu that they also got 200 intermediate grade mana potion as he requested. Our boy told her that the items are enough. He explained to her that he prefers to be alone with the patient. Before leaving, Miri apologized to him for how she behaved earlier. She revealed to him that Wu Jin was forcefully baptized before he could even start school. He never had the chance to make friends, let alone go on a family picnic. He had to suffer while being forced to be stuck in his room. Miri bowed her head. She told our boy that they were too sensitive because of the situation. She told him that she will leave the rest to him. Wu Jin was shocked to see his mother bowing her head. Junsu was more shocked than the man. He could not believe that everyone in the family had to suffer because of the Saintess trap. Wu Jin helped his mother raise her head up. He assured her that he is fine. In the game, Wu Jin ends up opposing his own family. Junsu now understood why he became such a cold person in the future. He felt bad for them. He assured the woman that he will succeed at all cost. After she left, our boy told the man that they need to get started. While trembling, Wu Jin asked him about what he should do. Junsu did not understand why he was shaking. He asked him to relax. Wu Jin asked him if he is not going to torture him through some sort of drug injection or electric shock to forcefully awaken him. Junsu was surprised to hear this. He wondered about the kind of treatment which Wu Jin has been receiving. The general treatment to cure divine fever is to drink nectar after awakening. However, because Wu Jin had accumulated too much mana in his body, the divine fever was too severe for him to awaken. Junsu asked the man to not worry about any weird treatment. He asked him to remember only one thing. He told him that he needs to keep everything he sees today as a secret. Wu Jin promised him that he will keep his secret. Immediately he heard this. Junsu activated his mana barrier and expanded it to the absolute limit. He did this in order to weaken the barrier. The moment the barrier weakened, the flames of the divine fever began to burn his body. Our boy quickly took some mana potions. He began to pour it into his mouth. Wu Jin was shocked to see this. Junsu did not stop at only 2 bottles. He forcefully poured the mana potions in his mouth. The taste was so bad, but he had no choice but to drink it. He continued shoving it down his throat until he obtained a trait. Junsu obtained a trait called drug addiction. Mana consumption increases with this trait, but the effects of a drug are abnormally enhanced. Our boy was relieved to see that he finally obtained the drug addiction trait. The flames of the divine fever reduced. He began to focus his mana on the barrier. The flames of the divine fever were pushed outside the shield. Junsu obtained a trait known as Area Shield. The trait allows him to generate a shield within the designated area. Our boy was happy to see that the divine fever has been completely pushed out of the barrier. With a look of admiration on his face, Wu Jin told Junsu that he is amazing. Our boy told him that it is too early for him to be surprised. He told him that he has to take off his mana-sealing glove. Wu Jin was surprised to hear this. Junsu asked him to push his hand out of the barrier. He told him that he simply has to grab his hand once he has done this. With a scared look on his face, Wu Jin explained to our boy that 2 divine fever will start a resonance reaction. Junsu stepped out and allowed the flames to engulf him again. He told Wu Jin that the resonance will be bearable for him because he is inside the barrier. Wu Jin became nervous. This was his first time taking off his glove since the baptism. He took the glove off and placed his hand outside the barrier. The man's flames were ridiculously large. It even pushed Junsu back. Our boy wondered about how much mana Wu Jin had in his body. Although it was scary for him, he still grabbed Wu Jin's hand. The pain which he felt could not be described. Junsu could only scream. It was even worse than when the saintess baptized him. He felt like his bones were being shattered to pieces. Even though he was in immense pain, he had to maintain his focus and endure it. He cursed the saintess and the divine fever while he was screaming. Our boy pushed Wu Jin inside the barrier and fell on him. While breathing heavily, he grabbed the man's hand. He was relieved to see that it was a success. Wu Jin was happy to see that the divine fever was bearable even after he took off his glove. While breathing heavily, Junsu told him that this is why they went through the stress. In addition to the barrier, our boy used damage absorption trait to take part of Wu Jin's divine fever for himself. Thanks to this, the man's divine fever is severely weakened. Junsu picked up a wooden sword and stood up. He told the man that this is the final stage. He asked Wu Jin to not stop attacking him until he awakens. Wu Jin grabbed the sword. He said that it is time for him to use the swordsmanship he has practiced since his childhood. He stood up and attacked our boy. Junsu blocked the attack with arm guards. Our boy began to run after blocking the attack. He could not believe that Wu Jin broke an iron arm guard with a wooden sword. Fortunately, he managed to obtain a trait known as Protect. Even with the trait, Junsu knew that he will be in a critical state if he takes even one attack. He carefully dodged Wu Jin's strikes. He could not believe that someone who had not yet awakened was already this strong. He wondered about the kind of swordsmanship Miri taught her son. While he was trying to regain his balance, Wu Jin charged at him. Junsu managed to dodge the attack by jumping above the man. The moment he landed on the ground, he obtained a trait known as Evasion. He noticed that Wu Jin was releasing some steam from his body. He realized that he was about to awaken. A large amount of golden energy covered Wu Jin's body. Junsu was shocked to see this. He noticed that the sword and Wu Jin are shining with the same energy. Wu Jin is an SSR rank character with a trait known as One with the Sword. Our boy quickly realized that One with the Sword refers to a state where the sword becomes the person. Junsu knew that this was an insanely overpowered trait for the warrior class. Unfortunately for our boy, Wu Jin was in a complete trance state. The man fired an energy from his sword at Junsu. Our boy was shocked to see the attack. He knew that he will die if he gets hit by the attack. Junsu quickly took out all his defensive traits. He focused his shield on his arms. With the help of the mana-focusing circle in the room, he strengthened his shield. The attack destroyed the ground when it hit him. Our boy was able to block it with his new trait known as Mana Shield. He combined the Mana Barrier trait and the Protect trait to create this new trait. He tried to catch his breath. He could not believe that he was almost killed by the One with the Sword trait. When he raised his head up, he noticed that Wu Jin was staggering. After using the skill, the man lost consciousness and fell to the ground. Junsu was shocked to see this. He could not believe that Wu Jin lost consciousness in peace after trying to kill him. He never expected him to fall asleep. He moved close to him to check on him. He realized that the man went berserk for a bit after awakening. In the game, Wu Jin was a strong character with an SSR rank, but because he awakened as a warrior and not a paladin, He acquired the one with the sword as a starting trait. Jun-soo realized that he just created a monstrous warrior. He made Woo-jin awaken as a warrior instead of a paladin. Our boy did not know how this change would affect the future story. He carried the man on his shoulder. Jun-soo did not believe that things were completely bad because he is now affiliated with a man who was born with a silver spoon and immense strength. This powerful young man now owes him a favor. In the next scene, we see Woo-jin sleeping on his bed. Miri could not believe that her son actually overcame divine fever. She and Jungja bowed their heads and thanked our boy for his help. With a proud look on his face, Jun-soo told them that it is nothing. He reminded them that he said he can do it. While feeding Jun-soo a drink like an innocent servant, Seon-soo told him that he knew that he will be able to do it. Miri placed her hand on her son's head. She said that it has been a long time since they saw him sound asleep. The woman was quite grateful to Jun-soo. She did not know how to repay him for what he had done. She turned to her husband and nodded at him. Jungju smiled when he saw this. He turned to Jun-soo and told him that they will provide him with an additional success fee along with the promised nectar and the memory chip containing the mountain-breaking swordsmanship. With an insincere smile on his face, our boy told them that they do not need to give him extra money. Jungju begged him to accept the 1 billion won he wants to give him. He told him that the money is small when compared to what he has done for them. Jun-soo was shocked to hear the amount. While acting like an innocent man, he said that it will break his heart to reject the money twice. He told them that he has no choice but to take it. Of course, he desperately wanted the money. While driving Jun-soo to his destination, the director told him that today was a jackpot. Our boy took a look at the nectar and the memory chip. He said that the day was truly amazing. Seon-soo asked him if he is going to drink the nectar immediately. Jun-soo said that he has to. He told the man that he plans on going on hiatus for a bit. Seon-soo understood our boy's intention. He knew that Jun-soo did not want to catch the attention of the old father's order and other dangerous people who could hear about his rewards. The man said that it is actually a shame. He explained to our boy that he can significantly raise his mana if he refines the nectar and consume it. Jun-soo knew that the director was right. He knew that he could raise his superhuman level by a lot if he refines the nectar instead of drinking it to cure the divine fever. While he was thinking, the car parked in front of a hotel. When Jun-soo stepped out of the car, the director explained to him that he will try to find the equipment necessary to refine the nectar. He asked our boy to wait for some time before he consumes the nectar. Our boy told him that he will think about it. The scene shifts and we are taken to his hotel room. We see Jun-soo open the bottle of nectar. He planned to drink it immediately. He already learned about how cruel this world can be from the deer incident. He could not guarantee that the director won't betray him. Also, Jun-soo already had traits like drug addiction and mana absorption which can maximize the nectar's effect. The moment he drank the nectar, he was covered by black flames. He began to scream in pain. He felt like every fiber of his muscles was being disassembled and reassembled. Jun-soo closed his eyes. He could feel an incredible amount of mana being stored within him. He released a large amount of light from his body. The light shined through the glass of his hotel room. While looking at the black flame in his hand, Jun-soo realized that he had leveled up. He was now a level 2 superhuman. He also acquired a trait known as Black Flame. By curing the divine fever with the nectar, our boy acquired one of the best tier 1 traits in the game. Now that he has gotten the Black Flame trait and the mountain-breaking swordsmanship, Jun-soo felt relieved. He could now focus on training these 2 traits. He believed that he will not have any problems for the time being. The moment he said this, our boy gets a message from the director. He wondered why Seon-soo would suddenly text him. He decided to ignore it and focus on training. Before he could walk away, he hears his phone buzz several times. Jun-soo was annoyed to see this. He quickly picked up his phone. He wondered why the director was texting him so much. Seon-soo wrote a message talking about an apology and some members. The message did not make any sense to our boy. He found it weird that the man was even texting him in the first place. He is not someone who usually texts. While looking at the message, Jun-soo noticed something odd. When he carefully picked out some words, he was able to decode that the director was telling him to run away from the Dagger Gang. Our boy was surprised to see that Seon-soo hid this secret message in his texts. The Dagger Gang is one of the opposing gangs of the Iron Fist Gang. Jun-soo knew that the director would have called him to stall for time if he wanted to betray him. Due to the fact that Seon-soo sent this secret message, our boy realized that the Dagger Gang have already caught him. The information was leaked while he was trying to prepare the equipment for refining. Jun-soo decided to ignore the message since he has already gotten the nectar he wanted. He believed that everyone is responsible for their own life in Arcane Soul. The next day, we are taken to a basement. We see some men torturing the director who was tied up. One of them told him that he is stubborn. They could not believe that the man would not tell them where Junsu is even after getting tortured for a whole night. Seonsu grit his teeth out of anger. He told the men that our boy signed a contract with him because he trusts him. He said that he won't speak no matter what they do to him. A man smiled when he heard this. He said that he has no choice but to use his last resort. Immediately he said this, he used his finger to signal someone. The person grabbed an axe and moved close to the director. Seonsu was shocked to see him. The man asked him to tell him the hand he uses to eat. Seonsu did not answer him. The man raised the axe up. With a creepy smile on his face, he said that the right hand is usually the correct answer. Before the man could do anything, the door exploded. The man and the director were shocked to see this. The man asked one of the minions on the ground about what is happening. While breathing heavily, the minion said that some crazy bastard is launching warheads at their building. Of course, the crazy bastard is Junsu. With a smile on his face, our boy said that the Dagger Gang has picked the wrong guy to mess with. Junsu could not leave someone who keeps his promises in this cruel world. He fired another warhead at them and declared that the war begins now. The warhead hit the building and caused a large explosion. The members of the Dagger Gang grabbed their guns and rushed outside. They quickly began to search the area. Junsu was not surprised to see them rushing out of the building like a bunch of cockroaches. Even though the building looked like a normal apartment, our boy could tell that the entire gang was inside. He was aware of this because he cleared the Dagger Gang dungeon several times in the game. It is a complex dungeon that consists of 6 different buildings. Because the Dagger Gang quest is one of the tutorial quests, Junsu believed that he could clear it with his eyes closed. He was happy to see that the time he spent on the quest was finally paying off. He picked up a bag containing various weapons. He jumped to the next building and said that a veteran is about to clear the dungeon. In an alley, we see 3 members of the gang looking around. One of them said that the Iron Fist gang is probably the one attacking them. He believed that they were the only ones capable of pulling off such a crazy feat. Another man said that they should beat the Iron Fist to a pulp once they capture them. The moment he said this, he hears a noise from the dustbin. The man told his colleagues that he will check it out. They asked him to check it thoroughly. When the man looked behind the dustbin, he did not see anything. Before he could turn around, Junsu grabbed his head and slammed it to the wall. Our boy was happy to see that the man could not see him even though he was in front of him. He used the feigning death trait and stealth trait to hide himself. Junsu was convinced that there is no better combination for infiltration than this traits. Our boy opened the dustbin. He decided to enter the building while the gangsters were looking around. The dustbin had a ladder inside it. Junsu decided to use this secret path to enter the building. When he landed inside, he looked around. He was happy to see that he had avoided combat for now. He stuck to the wall. He remembered that the Dagger Gang liked to keep hostages right next to their boss's room on the 5th floor. Our boy still had a long way to go. He carefully moved around in order to avoid getting caught. While he was walking, a speaker in the hallway announces that an intruder has entered the building. All members were asked to arm themselves and gather at the designated assembly point. Junsu was annoyed to see that they found out. Next to our boy was a door leading somewhere. He became conflicted. He did not know if he should leave or open the door that leads to the lobby. The lobby is the most optimal route because there is a central staircase that leads upstairs. The problem is that once they notice that an intruder is inside the building, they put up a barricade in the lobby to form a defense line. Junsu knew that he would be riddled with bullets if he was to open the door. However, this did not mean much to him. He opened the door. As he expected, he saw several gangsters. Junsu took out a Gatling gun. With a smile on his face, he began to fire his bullets at a crazy speed. He asked his new friends to enjoy his present. The gangsters were shocked to see a Gatling gun. Most of them were not able to block the bullets, but some of them still managed to raise their guns and fire at our boy. While they were shooting, Junsu threw a grenade at them. The gangsters were shocked to see this. The grenade blew them away when it landed on the ground. Junsu quickly closed the door before he could get caught up in the explosion. He said that doing things the hard way is not his style. Our boy was not convinced that one grenade was enough to take them out. He took out more from his bag and threw it into the lobby. He quickly closed the door. He smiled when he heard the sound of the grenades. After the grenades had done their job, Junsu went in. He saw the gangsters on the floor. He looked around to see if he got all of them. He did not want to let his guard down because there might be some survivors. The moment he thought of this, one of the gangsters stood up and aimed his gun at him. He fired his gun and asked our boy to die. Junsu managed to sense the bullet and dodge it. He obtained a trait known as sensitive when he dodged the bullet. Our boy was relieved to see that he obtained the trait that he needed from this dungeon. He decided to beat the shit out of the gangster now that he has gotten the trait. The man begged him for his life. After taking care of the minions, Junsu decided to go upstairs. He made it up to the 4th floor without any issue. However, this is where the real danger starts. Our boy knew that there will be gang members waiting in the gambling room on the 4th floor. To his surprise, there was no one in the hallway. When he checked the gambling room, there was no one inside. Junsu immediately realized that something was wrong. He tried to focus to understand what was happening. While trying to do this, he obtained the focus trait. He managed to sense something above him. He quickly looked up. He saw a drone above him. He was surprised to see it. The drone dropped something. The moment the thing touched the ground, it released a blinding bright light. Junsu quickly used his hand to cover his eyes. He never expected the drone to drop a flashbang. Immediately, the flashbang shined. Someone appeared behind our boy. The person rushed to attack him with a dagger. He stabbed him in his shoulder. With a creepy smile on his face, the man called Junsu a rat and said that he has gotten him. This man is the boss of the Dagger Gang. He is a level 2 superhuman assassin. To his surprise, Junsu used his mana barrier to block the dagger. He asked the man to tell him who he got. The man was shocked to see that the dagger did not go in. He quickly stepped back. Our boy told the man that he is the one who is dressed like a rat. Junsu did not expect the boss to appear on the 4th floor. This never happened in the game. Fortunately, he could still read the boss's pattern. The flashbang is the linked attack pattern that activates once the player enters the boss room. Our boy actually equipped the sensitive and focus traits before the boss ambushed him. Because the boss of the Dagger Gang is an assassin, Junsu has to feel where the attack will come from with his 5 senses. The boss was annoyed to see that our boy blocked his ambush. Junsu asked him to not be surprised yet. He took out a sword and said that he will make him regret targeting him. The moment he said this, he charged at the man. He swung his sword at him when he got close to him. The boss disappeared in front of our boy and reappeared behind him. He told Junsu that he is trying to act cool even though he is so slow. He threw his dagger at him. Junsu managed to turn around and hit the dagger away. He already expected an assassin to be fast, but he did not know that he would be this fast. The only reason he was able to survive was because of his sensitive and focus traits. Our boy noticed that the boss had imbued poison magic into his dagger. If the dagger touches his body, he will be sent to the afterlife. Junsu realized that he will be at a disadvantage if the fight drags on. The assassin picked up his dagger. He told our boy that he is quite lucky. He explained to him that he will only take one of his arms if he surrenders now. Junsu took a stance and asked him to stop spouting nonsense. He asked him to come at him. The boss laughed when he heard this. He told our boy that he is able to tell that he is a gunner because of his lousy sword stance. He was annoyed to see that someone who couldn't even assess the situation was speaking rudely to him. Junsu was surprised to see that the boss thought that he was a gunner. He realized that he has been using firearms since he came there. Due to this, the boss misjudged him as a gunner. With a scary smile on his face, the man charged at Junsu. He promised to tear him apart and kill him in the most painful way. Our boy knew that he only had one chance. He raised his sword and attacked the man while his guard was down. The boss managed to dodge the attack. With a smile on his face, he told Junsu that he is too slow. Our boy quickly raised his sword and attacked him from the side. The man was shocked to see this. He could not believe that a gunner was using a combo attack. He was able to block the attack, but he lost his balance and fell to the ground. Junsu added the mountain-breaking swordsmanship to his traits. He revealed to the man that he is no longer a gunner once he switches out his traits. With a smile on his face, our boy told the boss that he is now a classic warrior that is armed with swordsmanship. He attacked the man with the first style of the mountain-breaking swordsmanship. This style is known as the Mountain Crusher. Junsu made a huge cut on the man's shoulder. He screamed out in pain. Our boy laughed when he saw the man fall to his knees. He told the assassin that he lost because he let his guard down. The man was annoyed to hear this. He threw his dagger at Junsu. He told him that it is not yet over. Our boy was surprised to see the man making a final struggle. The man fell to the ground after throwing the dagger. The dagger managed to hit Junsu. Our boy could not believe that he actually let his guard down at the end. He quickly took out the dagger. Of course, the poison had already circulated throughout his body. He decided to switch his traits. He equipped his wound recovery trait, regeneration, vigor, mana heart, deep breathing, and mana recovery trait. This traits helped him heal himself. Although he was still in pain, he was able to endure it. When he looked outside the window, he saw the other members of the gang rushing inside the building. He realized that he needed to get out of this building as soon as possible. At the 5th floor of the building, we see Seonsu tied up. The man was still in the torture room. He pushed his chair to the ground and tried to grab one of the glass shards on the floor. He wanted to escape by himself. While he was trying to grab the glass, he noticed that a shadow covered him. When he looked up, he saw Junsu. Our boy took off the cloth on his mouth and asked him about how he ended up getting caught. The director was happy to see Junsu. Our boy cut his rope and told him that he is quite a handful. Seonsu was touched to see that Junsu came to save him. Junsu told him that they don't have a lot of time. He told him that they need to leave. The man agreed with him. When he wanted to start running, he noticed that he could not move his legs. Junsu could not believe that the gangsters broke the man's legs. He went on his knees and asked Seonsu to get on his back. The man was surprised to hear this. He declined the offer. He did not want to stress Junsu anymore. Our boy assured him that it is fine. He explained to him that they need to get to a safe place quickly. Seonsu had no choice but to accept the offer. He thanked Junsu for his help. Our boy could not believe that the director stayed loyal to him while he was being tortured. He always believed that Arcane Soul was a hellish world. He was happy to see that there is still some good in it. The scene shifts and we are taken to Seonsu's agency. We see several cans of recovery potion in front of Junsu. He drank these potions and obtained a trait known as poison resistance. The potions flushed out the poison from his system. Seonsu took out more potions and asked Junsu if he still wants more. Our boy assured him that he is fine. He already got the trait he wanted. The director apologized to him. He explained to him that the information got leaked when he was preparing the things needed for the nectar. He realized that he shouldn't have trusted his employees. Junsu assured him that it is fine. He revealed to him that he has already drank the nectar. Seonsu was shocked to hear this. He asked him if he is joking. Junsu explained to him that he would have not been able to save him if he didn't drink the nectar. The director could not believe that our boy drank the precious nectar to save him. Of course, this was not the reason our boy drank the nectar, but he was not interested in explaining himself. He decided to allow Seonsu think whatever he wants. While they were talking, someone bangs the door. The director was shocked to see this. He wondered if the Dagger Gang had already gotten there. With a nervous look on his face, he asked Junsu about what they should do. Our boy told him that they need to welcome their guest. When he opened the door, Seonsu saw someone else there. The person turns out to be Iron Fist Kim. He was with some of his gang members. Junsu welcomed the man. Iron Fist Kim could not believe that our boy annihilated the Dagger Gang. He knew that he was not an ordinary guy, but he never expected him to be so strong. He asked Junsu to tell him the reason why he called him. Our boy called him to get the reward for clearing a difficult quest. The Iron Fist Gang and the Dagger Gang are rival gangs who are having a power struggle to claim the ownership of the Silum area. In the game, the tutorial requires the player to annihilate the Dagger Gang by helping the Iron Fist Gang. For destroying the Dagger Gang, the Iron Fist Gang offer the player a lot of rewards. Junsu wanted to get this rewards. Iron Fist Kim asked our boy if he plans on creating a new organization. Junsu told him that he is not interested in such things. He revealed to him that he called him to tell him that he can have the area that the Dagger Gang was occupying. The man was surprised to hear this. Junsu explained to him that he prefers to stay solo. He told him that he has no intentions of stepping into the underworld. He told the gangster that he has repaid the debt he owes him. Iron Fist Kim liked what our boy gave him, however, he felt like it was too much compared to the debt he owed him. Junsu smiled when he heard this. He told the man that he can grant him a wish now that he owns the Silum area. Iron Fist Kim asked our boy to tell him his wish. Junsu's wish was something everyone in Seoul wanted. With a creepy smile on his face, our boy asked the gangster to give him a house. Iron Fist Kim was surprised to hear his wish. Junsu explained to him that he needs a proper base because he works alone in this harsh world. The moment he said this, he told Seonsu that his stomach got injured while he was fighting the Dagger Gang. The director was shocked to hear this. He asked him if he is in pain. Iron Fist Kim could tell that Junsu was trying to talk about the things he went through. He told our boy that he will accept the deal since he took care of the Dagger Gang. With a smile on his face, Junsu told him that he likes how straightforward he is. He was very happy to see that the gangster accepted his wish. Iron Fist Kim asked our boy if he wants a luxury villa or an apartment. Our boy told the man that he wants a standalone house with guaranteed security and soundproofing. There must be a training facility in the basement. Iron Fist Kim found Junsu's requirements to be odd. With a look of anger on his face, Junsu asked Iron Fist Kim to say the house in his head. He said this in his head. The gangster told our boy that there is a house that fits his requirements. He said that the house is located on the outskirts of Silim, along the ridge of Jeonubong. Junsu was extremely happy to see that Iron Fist Kim was offering him the house he was thinking of. This is the house given to a player as the first base in Arcane Soul. The scene shifts and we see Junsu resting on a chair on his balcony. He was quite happy to get a new home. He stood up and said that he loves the air. He loved the view of the balcony. He really liked the magnificent house. Junsu thinks about the fact that he did not know what to do when he first landed in Arcane Soul, but now he has a house that is like a palace. He also had the money he got from the #1 security and the director. With a bright smile on his face, Junsu said that he can afford to stay in the hospital for a year without worry, although he was happy with what he had achieved. Our boy knew that he couldn't bask in success in this cruel world. Once the game's plot progresses, vicious villains like the Saintess of the Old Father's Order will appear and destroy the city. Junsu picked up a pickaxe next to him. He decided to find the real reason why he chose this house. He went to the underground training room. He tapped the wall there. He believed that the thing he was looking for would be there. He raised the pickaxe and decided to start working. He slammed the axe on the wall. The wall easily fell apart. It opened up a cave. Junsu was surprised to see that he got the location on his first try. He realized that his trait must be working. He believed that he would be able to easily find what he was looking for. After digging for a while, Junsu became exhausted. He didn't know that the thing he was looking for was quite deep inside. It seemed easy when he played the game. Although he was tired, Junsu was not ready to give up. He raised his axe and struck the ground. The moment he did this, a large amount of water gushed out. Our boy was quite happy to see this. He opened his mouth to drink the refreshing water. Immediately he tasted the water. He regained his energy. He said that he really loves the taste. He could feel his body healing. This was the effect of the mana spring. It is a spring brimming with mana. Even characters whose HP has dropped to 0 can quickly recover when soaked in the mana spring. It showcases its incredible therapeutic properties by taking away most debuffs. The place where a player can access such an amazing mana spring for free is none other than the first base provided by the Iron Fist Gang. The scene shifts and we see that Junsu has added a tap to control the water. He filled up a tub with the water. Our boy was surprised to see that he had to go through so much trouble to get to this point in the game. He could get everything done through a single click. Junsu rested in the tub. He could feel the effects of the mana spring in his body. He grabbed a sword next to him and stood up. The mana spring has such amazing therapeutic effects that it is perfect for training. It allows Junsu to heal immediately if he runs out of stamina. With a creepy smile on his face, our boy pulled out his sword. He said that it is time for the one and only free-to-play Rankers Extreme Efficient Training. The scene shifts and we see Junsu in the training room. It has been 2 weeks since he locked himself up in this room to train. He raised his sword and released the black flame. He could now activate the black flame perfectly. He covered his sword with his energy and carefully swung it. He took a step forward and used the second style of the mountain-breaking swordsmanship. This style is known as the Mountain Divider. He thrust his sword forward and used the third style. This style is known as Mountain Piercer. Junsu was happy to see that he could now use mountain-breaking swordsmanship along with the Black Flame. He also earned some useful traits during his training, traits such as Smashing Strike, Single Point, Fire Resistance, Meditation, and Mana Stabilization. Now that he has completed his training, there was only one more important thing that he had to do. He wanted to get a mana cultivation technique which he cannot obtain through training. If Junsu had refined the nectar before drinking it, he could have reached level 3. However, because he is still at level 2, there is still some mana left in his body. To fully absorb the mana of the nectar and reach level 3, our boy will need the mana cultivation technique. Although he needed the technique, Junsu knew that it would not be easy to get because it cost tens of billions. The scene shifts and we are taken to the past. We see Warrior Kim at Kim Chunbok's antique store. The owner was surprised to hear that the character wanted to buy something that has been in the warehouse for a decade. Junsu made Warrior Kim purchase the item. A screen popped up on his phone and told him that he has bought a mana cultivation technique. Junsu laughed when he saw this. He He believed that he was the only person that knows about the mana cultivation technique in the store. The scene shifts and we are taken to the present. Our boy decided to head to Shinwon Marketplace. This is where the store is located in. Our boy was quite happy to level up. When he arrived at the market, he found the store closed. The door was locked with a mana seal so that no one can enter. Jun-soo knew that Shinwon Market is the place with the most shops in the area. Everything is sold in this market. The owner wrote that the store will be closed until Shinwon Market is stabilized. When he played the game, this store was always open. Jun-soo wondered about the reason why it was closed. The strange thing was that most of the other stores were also closed. Our boy became worried. This part of Arcane Soul was different from the one he knew about. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want more of this recap, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more recaps. See you guys later.